Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my LEGO MCU game series where we're taking a look at what a LEGO video game based on the MCU's Infinity Saga could look like. Since this is part of my first video, I've been working hard to bring you guys something really special and it's finally here. Just a quick side note, I'll be uploading new videos on this series every other Friday at 3 PM US Eastern Time, so be on the lookout for that. In this video, I'll be showcasing some of the gameplay features I've thought up for this game, along with some very creative suggestions from the community. If you'd like to keep up with the series, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel as it helps out a ton. And now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with the basics, the story in this game will cover the 23 films in the Infinity Saga, with each film having 5 levels. Similar to the Skywalker Saga and LEGO The Incredibles, there will be open world story segments called pre-levels between the main story missions to help add to the immersion of playing through the films. These missions will range from simply traveling between locations to completing extra objectives and puzzles in the open world. You'll be able to choose at any time to continue the story in the open world or exit to free play. Getting into the levels, a cool feature I love to see return is the character wheel from LEGO Jurassic World and Pirates of the Caribbean, which makes it much easier to switch characters within a level rather than having to spam the switch character button until you land on the right one. The boss battles in this game will be a mix between classic LEGO game boss battles that had more LEGO infused creativity and the newer, more combat oriented boss fights. The boss health bar from the Skywalker Saga will be making a return, and just like in many LEGO games, when you defeat a boss, you'll unlock them for purchase as a playable character. For recurring bosses, you'll unlock the variant of the boss you have defeated. So for example, after defeating Ivan Vanko or Whiplash during the Monaco racetrack fight in Iron Man 2, you'll unlock his first Whiplash costume, and later on in the film, after you defeat him playing as Tony and Rhodey at the Stark Expo, you'll unlock his hammer tech suit. And speaking of bosses, there'll be a villain bonus level for every film similar to the first LEGO Batman game. Shout out to Tiny Ninja 77 who came up with that awesome idea. Before starting a film, a LEGO-fied version of the trailer will play, and there will also be LEGO dioramas shown when selecting which film you'd like to play and when entering a level. Levels will also be accompanied by the soundtrack playing in the original movie scene. For example, Civil War by Henry Jackman will play during the airport battle mission in Captain America Civil War. The 100% stud requirement name will be True Avenger, carrying over from the first LEGO Avengers game, and the mini-kits in this game will be the Infinity Stones. This of course means there will only be 6 mini-kits per level, but given the game's massive size, I think this will make the completion grind much more manageable. Another notable change to the game's free play content is the addition of Kevin Feige as the character in peril, who you can unlock after completing the entire story of all 23 films and rescuing every character in peril. He would have the power set of most of, if not all, the MCU heroes. But perhaps the biggest, and maybe one of the most important changes from the previous LEGO Avengers game would be the inclusion of an entirely new voice cast like in the Skywalker Saga, as opposed to using audio from the movies again. To replay story levels, you can either A. navigate to the Mission Replay tab, B. open the map and select any open world location to view a list of levels that take place in that location, or C. simply find the Mission Replay terminals placed across the environment. Something pretty obvious but necessary that would return is the division of levels into named sections that you can replay at will for ease of finding collectibles, so that you don't have to go back and play through the entire level just to get that one mini kit you lost. And for the last few story mode features, we have some suggestions from the community. From Super Gamer Boy, movie directors will be unlocked after completing films and will have the power set of the characters in the corresponding film. Teen Flash Gaming suggested having the Watcher narrate parts of the story, which I think is an awesome idea. One-shots like the Consultant and Item 47 could appear as bonus levels as suggested by Violent Commander. And finally, my favorite, after completing the story for a film, you'll have the option to travel to the location of that film's post-credits scene and watch it, as suggested by Daredeviler. Now let's talk about the open world. As you progress through the story, new open world locations you visit will be unlocked to freely explore. There will also be a new landmark system for important locations within the hub worlds like Stark Tower and the Sanctum Sanctorum. Visit all landmarks in a hub to complete that hub, and you can complete all of the hub worlds for a special reward. In order to unlock fast travel and view collectibles and landmarks on the map, you need to activate a vehicle call-in point in any given location. And speaking of fast travel, the travel system in this game will be modeled very similarly to LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, where when selecting a planet, you can choose to travel to the local space surrounding that planet or specific sublocations within that planet. For example, when traveling to Earth, you can choose to travel either to Earth's space or to one of the many locations on the planet such as New York, California, and Sokovia. You'll also be able to choose between daytime, nighttime, and a day-night cycle when traveling to these locations. If you'd rather have the full immersion instead of traveling to locations instantly, you can also do that by simply flying from one location to another. Granted, some locations will be locked behind fast travel, such as the 9 realms including Asgard and the Dark World that require Bifrost travel, but most planets will be easily accessible via space travel. When entering a new location, the planet or realm name and specific location you're in will appear on the screen in the style of Avengers Endgame. And on the topic of Endgame, let's talk time travel. There are many locations in the MCU that change throughout the years, such as Stark Tower becoming Avengers Tower. In this game, certain locations in the open world will change depending on where you're at in the story, and once you complete the story for Avengers Endgame, you can simply make your way to the Avengers compound in New York to use the quantum tunnel and time travel to alternate versions of any location you wish. To do this, simply stand on the quantum tunnel, select a time travel available location, then choose from a list of years and versions of that location. Set your destination, press A or X when prompted, and dive into time travel. Time travel available locations will include, but are not limited to, Camp Lehigh from Avengers Endgame, Captain America the First Avenger, and Captain America the Winter Soldier, Stark Tower from the Avengers, and Avengers Tower from Avengers Age of Ultron and Spider-Man Homecoming, Peter Parker's apartment from Captain America Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming, the Joint Dark Energy Mission Facility from Captain Marvel and the Avengers, Tonsberg, Norway from Captain America the First Avenger and New Asgard from Avengers Endgame, and finally, the Stark Expo from Captain America the First Avenger and Iron Man 2. Expanding on the idea first introduced in LEGO Marvel's Avengers and LEGO Incredibles, there will be random acts of heroism that pop up in the open world, such as random crimes, robberies, police chases, and building fires. Similar to the previous LEGO Marvel games, non-story mode characters and vehicles will be unlocked via free play, with some placed throughout levels and many available in the open world through different quest lines. However, this time, the quests will be directly related to the stories and characters from the films and will be themed after the open world location you're currently in. You can also spend a small amount of studs to skip side quests and instead find and purchase characters in the hub worlds. Onto the gameplay mechanics, there will be various features returning from previous LEGO titles, as well as plenty of new features. One of the most exciting things to me would be the return of the dual perspective levels from LEGO Lord of the Rings and LEGO Star Wars 3, where you can hold the switch character button in certain levels to switch to an entirely different area and set of characters. The coolest use I can think of this is the final battle of Avengers Endgame with all the heroes fighting Thanos, the Black Order, and the Outriders, or maybe even the airport battle in Captain America Civil War with the two different teams fighting each other. As well as this, parkour segments from LEGO City, Skywalker Saga, and Force Awakens, the stealth mechanic from the LEGO Dimensions Mission Impossible pack, and multi-builds from the Force Awakens and Skywalker Saga will be returning. I'll be exploring many more gameplay mechanics in the near future, but I like to save as many as possible for the videos covering the levels themselves. The character grid in this game will return to the classic design of LEGO character grids as opposed to the more obscure designs in entries such as LEGO Marvel 2, the LEGO Movie 2, and Skywalker Saga. These designs aren't necessarily bad, but I vastly prefer the classic character grid with the circular icons. There's just something really nostalgic and satisfying about being able to see every character in the game right next to each other. A heavily underutilized part of the character grid that I love is the option to see a character's abilities when you hover over them. This only appears in The Hobbit, Jurassic World, and The Force Awakens, and will definitely be making a comeback here. And another cool character roster feature is one appearing in LEGO The Incredibles, where you can sort the character roster by abilities. As well as this, I'd add the option to sort by film. Similar to the character wheel discussed earlier in the story missions, in free play, you'll be able to hold the switch character button to access the suit wheel. Similarly to LEGO Batman 3, the suit wheel will show you all unlocked variants of the character you're playing as, making it more convenient to find variants of characters, rather than having to click through them one at a time on the larger character grid. Another feature that was awesome in LEGO Batman 3 was the iconic themes playing when you fly with certain characters like Wonder Woman and Superman. I'd love to see that return, as well as character themes playing when in combat. Characters having multiple suits and being able to transform and suit up is probably my favorite feature of the LEGO games. I mean, in what other game can you suit up as Iron Man or transform into the Hulk? I have so many ideas for ways that suit ups and transformations can be expanded upon, so let's get into a few of those. For starters, we just need more suit ups and transformations in general. For transformations, some new ones I'd love to be added would be the ability for Thor to transform from his normal, more casual attire into his proper outfit, and for characters like Captain America and Spider-Man to be able to put on or take off their helmet or mask at any time. Something a little annoying about transformations in previous LEGO games is that since the same button for transforming is also used to pull up the character grid, it can be a little tricky to work with sometimes. That being said, Y or triangle will remain as the switch character button, and the up arrow on the controller will now be the designated transformation button. But that's not all for suit-ups, because we still haven't touched on the coolest suit-up character of all, Iron Man. At any time playing as Tony Stark or Iron Man, you can hold the suit-up button to switch your active suit. Hold the right trigger to call your active suit to you, hold the left trigger to eject from your suit when airborne or enter sentry mode when on the ground, and use the left bumper to call a random unlocked suit to you. Building on Iron Man's 14 suits in LEGO Marvel's Avengers, this game will feature over 50 entirely unique Iron Man armors, all complete with film-accurate suit-up animations, abilities, and designs, which will all be showcased in a later video. As mentioned in my previous video, Avengers team-up moves will be returning, and this time most major heroes will have a unique team-up with the other playable heroes. The team-up moves in the first LEGO Avengers were pretty incredible, and now with 10 more years of MCU films at our disposal, there are a plethora of new and exciting combos between characters to pull from. I'll be doing a whole video on all the team-up moves in this game, so stay on the lookout for that, but just to showcase a few moves pulled from the MCU here, there will be Hawkeye and Captain America's move from Age of Ultron where Hawkeye throws Steve his shield, Iron Man and Thor's from Endgame, where Thor uses his electricity to charge up Iron Man's suit, Rescue and Iron Man's from Endgame, and of course, Hawkeye and Ant-Man's iconic move from Civil War. The final feature I'd like to cover in this video is one of my favorites. As we all know, the combat in the LEGO games is very primitive. From the basic melee combos of the first LEGO games to the combo system in the Skywalker Saga, the combat in these games has arguably always felt a bit flat. In order to give the combat system in this game a fresh coat of paint, there are 3 things I would do. Number 1, combine the special move system present in LEGO Avengers with the combo system used in the Skywalker Saga. Number 2, reduce enemy health to 3 or 4 hits. And number 3, instead of giving characters basic punches and 1 or 2 special moves like in the Avengers, I would give the main heroes of the MCU entirely accurate fight choreography from the movies. Huge credit to Game Unboxing Reviews for the inspiration on this next idea. I would love to see characters use a unique fighting style depending on the suit they're wearing and which film it's from. So for example, when you unlock Captain America's stealth suit, he adopts the fighting style from Captain America the Winter Soldier. And on top of this, you'd be able to apply a fighting style from one movie to a suit from another. There are 2 ways this could be implemented. First, by rewarding players with a suit power when unlocking a new suit, similar to Insomniac's Spider-Man games, that applies the fighting style of that suit to any other suit you wish. Or second, by having a sort of skill tree system for combat, in which new moves are unlocked with every new suit you acquire, and those individual moves can be mixed and matched and applied to any suit you wish. There's an infinite number of awesome gameplay mechanics a LEGO MCU game could introduce, and these are just some of what I've thought of so far. But there will be plenty more character abilities, suit-ups, transformations, team-up moves, and open-world details showcased as we get further into this series. As always, make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to keep up with this series, and leave a comment down below letting me know your ideas for gameplay features in a LEGO Infinity Saga game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's going to be a good one.